So I want to make this video to address one of the possibly most pervasive myths within the world of self-development. Okay, whatever flavor or school you might come in from, you probably encountered some kind of version of this, and how this myth has a good deal of utility, but it's not true. And if you don't know that it's not true, it can carry some pitfalls with it. So I want to look at this right here with you. Now, it's been triggered by a question I received inside of my Nexus mentoring group, and it was a more extensive question than the version that I'm going to share with you here. I'm just going to share the front end of the question and my response to that. If you want the full session on this, the full in-depth, if you're in the Nexus, you'll be able to find it in there. If not, you can find out details about how to get on board with the Nexus in a link around here somewhere. But let's dive into this right now, okay? I'm going to read out the front end of this question. In personal development, it says, or in the personal development field, there is a general notion or saying that circumstances don't matter. Okay, only our inner state and our meaning making matter. Therefore, another person's words cannot hurt us. They cannot hurt us or make us feel down. So if we do feel hurt or down, the issue is with us, right? Now, as I say, this is a pervasive myth. You'll hear this a lot of places. I heard this when I first did NLP practitioner training, right? Nobody could make me feel a certain way. It was down to me how I responded to their words and this kind of thing. Now, I said there's a lot of utility in this. There is. Because a lot of people in life, they act as if other people are their puppet masters, as if other people can just push their buttons and there is nothing that they can do about it. So when people share this myth, this idea, actually, do you know what? We have power. We have power in our choices, in how we meet every moment of our lives, including the communications from other people. We are not in some kind of stimulus-response relationship where we're completely at effect. We can respond in a variety of different ways. But I can tell you this, right? We will respond. We will respond. One way or another, we will respond. And this is where the myth becomes problematic. If people think, oh, well, actually, I'm supposed to be like this isolated individual who is completely in control of my whole state of being and all of my reactions and all of this. If you were that, you would cease to be human. You would cease to be functional, right? Because do you know what? We, human beings, are not merely a collection of individuals. We are social creatures. We engage with other human beings. Our minds are not even our own. We do collective sense-making with the world around us. We cannot unplug from the system that we are of. We can connect to our power in how we engage within that system. We can increase our power. Okay, and this is what this is nudging people towards, this myth. But if you start to think there's something wrong with me if I react, okay, then that's crazy, right? This is what we're wired to do. We're wired to react. We're wired to respond. We co-create our results in life with the world around us, but we co-create ourselves with the people around us. We cannot do it in isolation. That is not how we are evolved to function, okay? So collective sense making is a thing. This means the communications of others will feed our responses, but it does not mean that we have to be a victim to those. It does not mean that whatever knee-jerk reaction we have, whatever semantic reaction we have to another person's words, however painful, is the only one we could have had. We have choice, we have power, and at least my approach to teaching people to become masters of their own epistemological responses, to use a fancy word with that, that's putting people in their power. But again, you know, if you're familiar with NLP, you'll be familiar with the presupposition you cannot not communicate, okay? You cannot not communicate, and just as a person cannot not communicate, a person cannot not respond to communication. We always respond, but there's a difference between response and reaction. What we're looking to do, or at least this is my bias, when we're looking to become masters of our own response sets, when we're looking to build a greater degree of adaptiveness and requisite variety with regard to how we meet the moments of our lives and create with them, when we're looking to build that, we want to get in touch with our power and our choices. Okay, that does not mean becoming autonomous. It means becoming more empowered within the system. Okay, so if you find yourself reacting, it's a very human thing. The question is, what are the mechanisms behind it? How would you like to respond differently? What does that response, the reaction you've been having, create? Do you want more of that? Do you want to get into that? Do you want to rewire that? Do you want to become different in moments like those? Okay, so I'm going to keep this video relatively short. If you have any questions on this concept, please do ask. Other than that, if you got something from this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And you might want to consider subscribing. I would love for you to subscribe, and do make use of that comment section below if you have further questions.